The folks here in Florida definitely used to this. Rain in the forecast as we join you from Everbank Stadium here in the city of Jacksonville. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one 28 yards on the ground. Right off the bat, a chunk play into enemy territory.
And I don't care how you plan for it. I don't care what you see on tape where you think you can get that type of a play. That's still a great rush and a little bit of a surprise to break off a run like that this early in the game.
On first down, right back to Etienne. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Lawrence. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now Lawrence to throw. Is Pat fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Devon Hamilton with the tackle.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. A carry here for the big tight end. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. Here's A.J. Cole now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. In motion goes the tight end. From the shotgun, Lawrence. That's complete to the rookie from Colorado. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. They go play action with Lawrence. This will be caught by Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Lawrence. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, the team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like the call. Inside the red zone running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And his kick is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Off of play action, here's Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A short throw there to Strange. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make it 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after one. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Smith. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Vegas. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Geno now to throw. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe somebody to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. They go play action now. Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And he'll work down inside the 45. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Down at the 13-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And the Jags are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Play action. It's Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at about the 14. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So he'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now Lawrence. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas, 65 yards. And the Jaguars are able to add on to that lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker, 63 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Operating from the gun, Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Back to throw again. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Timing was just a bit off, and that can happen occasionally, even with these fine professionals in the NFL.
But on those out routes, that requires precision, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Everyone has to be in sync from the time the quarterback hits his back foot and delivers the ball to the receiver turning to find it.
Here's Lawrence. He'll get that underneath ETN. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Play action. It's Lawrence. Towards the end zone for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now Geno. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Throwing now is Geno. Short throw caught by Bowers. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Third down and 6. From the 50, it's Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
The final shot here before break. Smith. He's going to go up top again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Hands it off out of the gun. And strong running midfield and down to the 49. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Smith. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. The kick by Carlson is good, and the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the ground with Bigsby to start the drive. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They go play action with Lawrence. He completes it to Hunter. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. A give to ETN running right. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
On second down, ETN once more. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. On play action, Lawrence. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to have this down deep into Vegas territory. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 41 yards.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the 3rd quarter. Another big play right there.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Lawrence to throw. He's got Thomas yet again complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Back to the ground with ETN. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Darnay Holmes with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And his kick here is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So he's got another field goal, his 4th now in the game. He's making it look easy out there.
He certainly is, and they're always aiming for a swing of the leg that repeats under pressure, right? So nothing's different. He's got that right now because confidence is breeding confidence.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Back to throw, Smith. Going for the deep ball. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. That's Thomas. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Etienne up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get
on to punt as he gets this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Smith now to throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a 1st down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The tackle made by Eric Murray.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Geno now to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Smith. That is caught, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. It's Myers again. Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the 4th. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making a play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. From the gun, here's Smith. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers from 6 yards away. And the Raiders are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Thomas brings it in. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
A handoff for Etienne. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They go play action now. Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Hunter. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 32-yard line. Now Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Hunter. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. Now Lawrence. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Etienne. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. Once more, Etienne. And this time he is into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
They're going to try and run. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's Smith. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
Well, it's not a comeback killer, but a huge obstacle with time running down. Still time left for the comeback because they haven't hit the 2-minute warning. But a long way now to get to the 1st down marker, and you know that defense is charged up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taking on the midfield logo. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Thomas, the man in motion left. Here's Lawrence. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. He finds his man. Complete. It's Hunter. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Here's a give to Etienne. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. ETN once more. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They run for it with Bigsby. And he will have a Jaguars first down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory. And they'll indeed take a knee. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.